Welcome back, guys, to Phoenix Wright, Spirit of Justice, where last episode we spent our time examining Amara's tomb, the site of a certain Inga's murder. Having found out more information, including weird blood stains that are around on the bottom of a chair with luminol traces leading over to the tomb itself, a locked tomb I might add at this point in time, broken statues, bullets being shot around but not being found, there is one more place that I have not examined, over here, weirdly enough. Someone could have hid behind these curtains. Here, I'll go give it a try. That will help, will it? Well, can you tell I'm hiding here? Nope, I can't tell at all. That's it. That's the perfect hiding place. We did it, Apollo. We solved the case. What? Sorry to burst your bubble, but the Royal Guard searched the tomb high and low right after they stormed in. And they said no one else was in here besides Minister Inga, Dirk, and Miss Faye. Well, back to the drawing board, I guess. My brilliant deduction! Destroyed in 3 sentences! And that brings us to examining everything. That's what we were waiting for last time. I think we've covered just about everything. Maybe we should go over what we've learned so far. For starters, we're dealing with a locked room murder. But instead of the tomb being locked, it was being cordoned off by the Royal Guard. And after the murder, no one was found to be hiding inside. Right, in addition, we also know that Dirk's fingerprints are all over the murder weapon. The curtain around the sarcophagus was drenched in the victim's blood on one side. The blood must have also gone on the killer when they stabbed the minister from behind. Dirk had blood on him when the crime was first discovered. Unfortunately, he doesn't remember what happened. This is not good. So what we know so far is things couldn't be worse for our case. And that's still an understatement somehow. Yeah, it's looking pretty grim. Oh, if you two are done here, I'll have to ask you to leave. Go on, scoot. Something wrong, Emma? Why are you trying to give us the boot? It's just easier if you're not here when his ephemeral holiness arrives. Ah! Speak of the devil. Prosecutor Samani! Detective Sky, it seems you've spoken at length with these 2 lawyers. I do hope you've also kept an eye on them. Yes, of course. Like a hawk, they didn't touch a single thing. Ha! Ha! Lumino. Give a lawyer an inch and they'll take a mile. Never forget that. There's that look of distrust again. Hey, Nahyuta. Do you really believe that Dirk's guilty? And are you seriously going to prosecute this case? I mean, he's your father. You were once part of the Defiant Dragons, weren't you? Oh, just go then? Hey, Nahyuta, wait! I said wait! Come on, Athena, after him! Huh? Oh, right behind you! Okay, where's he gone? That's the question. Any ideas? Sadly, no. Nahyuta, where have you gone? Let's eke our way out and hope that we give persistent chase quite well. What's with the footprints? I know we're being blocked by a bar at the moment to stop us seeing them, but they're very obvious. Nahyuta, would you stop already? What do you want? It's about Dirk. Would you please hear me out? I failed to see why I should. Now, if you'll excuse me. Hold it! Nahyuta, are you afraid of what I might have to say? If not, then there's no harm in listening, right? Very well. Speak. But make it quick. There is much I must do. Why does everything have to be so difficult with you? How are you feeling about prosecuting Dirk? So, I know you'll be prosecuting Dirk's case, but Aren't there any other prosecutors in this country? Why does it have to be you? Her Eminence, Queen Khura'in, personally requested that I serve as prosecutor. She did? That would make it hard to say no. Her Eminence thinks highly of my prosecutorial skills. Still, she didn't have to ask you to handle a case against your own father. Be honest, you really don't want to do this, do you? Ah, you speak of love and sentiment. I guess so. I do not deny such human emotions, but the law is the law. And placing personal feelings above it is beyond reprieve. Do you disagree? Well, no, I don't disagree, but civilizations only exist due to the confines of the law. Without them, love and sentiment would lack the fertile soil they need to flourish. Do you disagree? No, but the law must be obeyed. This truth sits above all else, including personal feelings. Therefore, whether or not I am the son of the accused is of no consequence. It is that simple. Or would you say otherwise? But come on, Apollo. Tell him how wrong he is. But don't you wish it wasn't that way? It appears I've wasted my breath on you. And the winner is Prosecutor Sadmadi. Still spewing empty words devoid of meaning or consequence, I see. You putrid red pepper. Ah! I know I'm right. Did he have to be so eloquent about his point? It's like he's trying to cover something up with his pretty words. Apollo, I'd cut back on the debates with him if I were you. Just stick to questions, like the one you wanted to ask. Right, what was the one I wanted to ask? Who cares about? Nahyuta, I wanted to ask you about that hostage situation. Inga said he had someone dear to Dirk in the palm of his hand, and he was using that person, along with his hostage, as leverage in obtaining the orb. That's news to me. Well, that's what Inga said. You can kiss your chances of getting the orb goodbye. My affair ain't my only, how shall I say, insurance, you know, Dirk. What? I've got someone dear to you right in the palm of my hand, see? And now that one, well, you can imagine what kind of things I could do, right? Glad you're seeing things my way. I got the impression Dirk had no choice but to follow Inga's demands after he heard that. So who do you suppose this special person is? I wouldn't know. My bracelet's reacting! Hey Nahyuta, about what you just said. Ouch! My bracelet's crushing my wrist! Ouch! It really hurts! What the heck's going on? I'm wise to your tricks, you putrid pepper. That bracelet reacts to the anxieties of the people around you by squeezing your wrist. But now that I know how it works, I can make it tighten around your wrist anytime I wish. Consider this a warning. I don't know how he did it, but this renders my bracelet useless. No, it told us something. Such devilry is powerless in the face of the Holy Mother's blessings. Looks like your special power won't work against Prosecutor Sadmadi, Apollo. We'll have to try something else. Come on, we're gonna take him to therapy. You're right. We'll just have to ask Dirk about this. It appears you intend to go through with a trial you have no hope of winning. Grow up, Mr. Justice. We are no longer children, you and I. I'm not the only one who needs to grow up, Nahyuta. In case you didn't hear, I won my last case against none other than Mr. Wright. You tell him, Apollo. Is he mad? I can never tell with him. This trial is different. Your foolishness will only earn you a death sentence for aiding and abetting a criminal. And those who die as criminals are doomed to be reborn in the next life as something lower than a bug or vegetable. You would be lucky to return to this realm as a patch of mold. Mold? That's pretty harsh. If you wish to avert such a fate, abandon this folly before it is too late. I don't care if I end up as a dollop of blue cheese dressing in my next life. I'm going to defend Dirk in court. You fool. Know this. I intend to prosecute the accused with all my might, no matter what you say or do. Consider yourself forewarned. Now, if you will excuse me. Prosecutor Samani knows his father will be publicly executed if he's found guilty. Yet, he won't show even an ounce of mercy. Nahyuta, is this the real you? Have you really changed? Do you really plan on sending Dirk to his death? Do you even hear me? Don't Dirk and I matter to you anymore? Okay, to be continued. Well, we've obviously got more investigating to do, so let's skip right to it, shall we? Alright, so moving back to Temple, what's going on? Maya passed out right after we found her in the tomb. I feel exhausted. I can't keep my eyes open. We're changing perspective. She's been out cold ever since. We haven't been able to get a word out of her. The doctor said it's just exhaustion, but I can't help but worry. What is it, right? Are you alright? Right, sure. Yeah, just thinking is all. I'm glad you're here, Edgeworth. We wouldn't have gotten the permissions we have without you. Well, I didn't come all the way to Khura'in to be useless. Speaking of the investigation, I received a few things from Detective Skye. These should prove to be useful to us as well. Inga's autopsy report has been added to the court record. Our court record is actually clear compared to what it used to be. And now we're also adding the tomb diagram. The tomb crime photo. I can't thank you enough, Edgeworth. Honestly, I'd have been so lost without him these past few days. You there, the bobbed-head lawyer, Phoenix Wright. Huh? Is that her or not? I don't know. She never talked like that before. Bobbed head, sure. Oh, yeah, that's what I thought. You're from the Grand Royal Guard, right? I'm Lackey. Yes, he is a lackey. Royal Guard member and her eminence's shoulder rubber. That's very specific. And what does the Royal Shoulder Rubber want with me? Wait, come to think of it, my shoulders are a bit stiff. Don't be absurd! I'm here for one purpose only. I'm to bring you before her eminence, Queen Khura'in, Grand Priestess of Khura'in. Will you comply? The Queen? What could she want with me? And why does he have to shout like that? I can't fathom why Queen Khura'in would summon you. But I advise you to accept her eminence's gracious invitation. Royal shoulder rubbing lucky, was it? Shoulder rubber, in fact. Shoulder rubbing lucky? It's true too. May I join Mr. Wright in his audience with the Queen? The name's Lackey. L-A-H''K-E-E. And all praise the omnipotent Queen Khura'in. For she has already foreseen and approved your request, Chief Prosecutor Edgeworth. You are both to come with me! You mean to say Queen Khura'in sees our every move? Yes, indeed! Her eminence's spiritual power is immense! She can even see what's going on thousands of miles away! Right. I fear I'll lose my hearing next if we don't hurry. Yeah, me too. Why would the Queen herself summon me personally? What could she possibly be up to? It's a good question. Any ideas, Edgy? So you'd been here all this time. I wondered where you had gone. Don't tell me you miss me, Edgeworth. As if. The courts have been so peaceful without you around. You make it sound like I'll leave legal devastation in my wake. Well, don't you? Bombs, etc. Yes, I guess. That wasn't really him, but still. Well, right, what do you intend to do now? I was thinking... I want to help Apollo win this case. So why don't we try to gather whatever information we can? You're quite the considerate boss. Well, I kind of forced him to take care of the office in my absence, so... it's the least I can do. Edgy. Doesn't he improve with age? He's like a fine wine, is our Edgeworth. He'll be getting all the old bags at this rate. Right, to the audience chamber it is. Some men improve with age. Edgeworth is one of them. I don't know. Actually, no. No, probably not. Why am I judging myself? It's not for me to judge. Ah, the barbed head lawyer has arrived. We bid you welcome. And you as well, Chief Prosecutor Edgeworth. Thank you. This place is still as magnificent as last time. We have heard much about you, Barbed One. It seems your bluffs and tomfoolery lend to leave our court devastated in their wake. Lend, tend, indeed. Ah, is that what people have been saying about me? Right. Where are your manners? Your Eminence, I am both humbled and delighted to be in your presence. Oh, Your Eminence. Glad to be here. Looks like you're doing well. It is alright. There is no need to keep your head bowed all day. Yes, Your Eminence. Rafa's not looking too good. I guess even she can't just bounce back from her father's murder. So what can I do for you, Your Eminence? We wish to question you about something related to the case at hand. Perfect, because I have a few questions of my own. Royalty wants to question me, and instantly I'm gonna go, jump in, question. What about Inga's crime? We fear we do not fully comprehend what has transpired, so if it is that we summoned you here to further elucidate the situation. Is it true that our husband Inga has been seeking the Founder's Orb? That's right, he wanted to trade a hostage for it. That's why he abducted Maya Fey. Insolent fool! She's been katonked. Ow! I got katonked! That is a lie. A lie, I say! Father would have never done such a thing. But he did abduct Maya? That much is... I will not stand here and listen to this nonsense. You will pay for this, you... Stop hitting me! Ow, ow, wow! Please, your benevolence. That is quite enough, Rafa. We understand your feelings, but we fear he speaks the truth. For we believe we know why your father would do such a thing. Huh? We believe he was seeking the orb as a means of obtaining spiritual power. And with it, he intended to usurp the throne. Mother! What do you mean, Your Eminence? Inga was planning a coup, for he was dissatisfied with the current administration, and his secret police was the primary instrument of his treason. The secret police? They came up during the High Priest's murder trial too. An elite force under the direct command of the Minister of Justice, in this case Inga. The man who was hunting down rebels as Lady Kira was a member of that group. Indeed, Inga turned that once proud force into his own private army, and he intended on using them to launch a coup and assassinate us. So Your Eminence had no control over them? As much as it shames us to admit it, Khura'in is not the unified realm it would appear to be. We are truly sorry you had to witness the dirty underbelly of our kingdom. Excuse me, your dirty underbelly is present for everyone to see. How could Father... But know that Inga could not have become king simply through our assassination. For in Khura'in, only those who possess spiritual power may sit on the throne. I see. That explains why Minister Inga was seeking the Founder's Orb. Barbwan, do you recall the man known as Peace, Love and Understanding? What about him? He too was involved in Inga's machinations. Inga had brought his loyalty, ordered the man to steal the orb and covered up the theft. And then he sent the orb to the US for Dr. Buff to study. It's all coming together. Let's talk about Dirk then. The capture of the infamous villain Dirk Sadmadi. It may prove to be the crowning achievement of our reign. Now perhaps the kingdom may return to the peace it once knew. Oh, what a joyous day! Hail to Remnants, Queen Khura'in, the Grand Priestess of Khura'in! The Remnants' spiritual power invokes its blessing straight from the Holy Mother! I can see how her cronies would be elated at the prospect. But the Queen herself seems almost giddy for someone whose husband was just murdered. Father! Rafa, on the other hand, doesn't appear to be taking it so well. About that incident that occurred 23 years ago. The one in which Dirk was accused of assassinating Queen Amara. Yes, he set fire to her private residence, burning my dear sister alive. Murder by arson. Only a demon would be capable of such a heinous crime. But that event also set the stage for you to become queen. What did you do before you were crowned queen, Your Eminence? As part of our training to be queen, we served in many different governmental positions, the longest of which was as the previous Minister of Justice. It was in that position that we were best able to support our elder sister, Queen Amara. Interesting. That's her husband's position, or at least it was. And when you ascended to the throne, you passed the Defense Culpability Act. Alright, let's see about the DC Act then. Those who would support criminals will be deemed just as guilty. What prompted you to pass something like the Defense Culpability Act, Your Eminence? The assassination of our dear sister Amara. When the infamous villain Dirk Sadmadi was apprehended, he announced that he would act as his own lawyer. That's right, Dirk used to be a lawyer. Dirk had been an extraordinarily talented lawyer and highly esteemed by the people, but he falsified evidence in an attempt to win his own case. I see. But when the truth of his fabrications and the assassination of the Queen came to light, the people were devastated, and trust in the legal system plummeted. Now why does that sound so familiar? Yeah, I wonder. In Khura'in, the Hall of Justice is a sacred space where victims receive their last rites. Should the people lose their faith in it, the kingdom would be shaken to its very core. That is why the Defense Culpability Act had to be passed. It was the only way to keep our legal system from tumbling into the abyss. So that's how you sought to eliminate the use of perjury and phony evidence, huh? That law is what made lawyers go extinct in your kingdom. Now there's no one left to defend those who had been accused. We see how you could take issue with such a reality. However, we have not banned the act of lawyering itself. Those who are confident that they can prove their client's innocence are always welcome to mount a vigorous defense, as you yourself have shown. Well, I guess so, but without lawyers, there's the possibility of false charges being filed and prosecuted. So long as our prosecutors continue to run nothing but perfect trials, there needn't be fear of such nefarious dealings. Do you disagree? Perfect prosecutors and their perfect trials, eh? Let's not get started down this path. Furthermore, here in Khura'in we have the divination seance. And so it is we no longer need lawyers. And so it is, in fact. Sorry, sentence. Comprehension. And so it is, we no longer need lawyers, for the dead do not lie. Well, in the short time I've been here, I've beaten back false charges twice. And I found that cases built on the memories of the dead are less than perfect. So yes, I do take issues with the Defense Culpability Act, to say the least. Oh, such relentless rhetoric. Your reputation precedes you, Barbwan. It feels as if we ourselves were being cross-examined. Oh no, that wasn't my intention. It is true that some feel the Defense Culpability Act is a necessary evil at best, but it is a small sacrifice upon which the peace of our kingdom has been forged. If you consider executing innocent lawyers a small sacrifice, then sure. The fact is that following its passage, the crime rate here in Khura'in drops markedly. Therefore, we have no regrets concerning the enactment of the Defence Culpability Act. Really? None at all? Right, why don't we leave it at that? This isn't a court of law, after all. Yeah. About the Founder's Orb that was to be exchanged for the hostage. It went missing after the murder. Would you happen to know anything about that? It's missing? I'm sure Dirk had it when he went into the tomb. If it wasn't there, I have no idea where it could be, Your Eminence. In that case, then perhaps Dirk has hidden it somewhere. Incidentally, there is the matter of that horned youth you were with. Oh, you must mean Apollo. From his odd hairstyle, may we assume him to be a relative? Perhaps your younger brother? No. You've got it all wrong. He's Dirk's son. Well, more like foster son. They're not actually related by blood. Dirk's? Roll card. Your Eminence. Huh? What's she whispering in that one guy's ear? Thank you for your time. The two of you may go now. Yes, Your Eminence. We'll be on our way. Okay, now what? Apollo and Athena have the murder scene investigation covered, so maybe we should go speak to the locals over at the bazaar. Alright, well it wasn't good to share that information. Definitely, Phoenix. That was a bit of a mistake, I'd have to say. Let's move over to the bazaar. So what kind of locals am I speaking to? There's one person we haven't seen in a while. And it's not a tiger, lion, whatever. What? Was that a lion? Oh, that caught me by surprise too when I first heard it. It's the cry of a local bird known as the warbird. What? Wait, it's the bird that makes that noise? Well, at least now we know what it sounds like. A bird? That sounds like that. That sounds more like a beast than a bird, if you ask me. It's a form of mimicry. You know, to help protect them against predators and stuff. Yes, well, I can't say I've heard one quite like that before. Oh, it's more than unusual. It's endangered. It's extremely rare to encounter one in the wild these days. If it's so rare, then what's one doing out here in the middle of the bazaar? You got me. Maybe it's got something to do with it being their national bird. Wait, what? Ah! Was that a gunshot? Ha ha ha! Sorry, you PW. Just fired off a gun in the middle of the bazaar. Is that normal here? But what was that, Dats? The Defiant Dragon's newest weapon. I call these puppies Dragon Snot Snaps. Uh-huh. And you need those, why? Because our hard work is starting to pay off. Thanks to our TV signal hijacking and stuff, more and more people are joining our cause. But on account of that, the regime's been cracking down on us real tough-like. Yeah, there's been a lot going on lately. Definitely. You can say that again. I mean, what with the High Priest fake murder/suicide? People are calling it the DCA tragedy, and it's causing a real public uproar. Hopefully this means Tarrus's death won't be in vain after all. So, how exactly is a handful of firecrackers going to be of help to you guys anyway? Simple. First, let's supply them to our fellow rebels. And then we'll use them as a diversion when we need to shake Khura'in's goons. Huh. Like this. Whoa! Well, you cut that out. I'm not with the regime and I'm not chasing you. Your reaction. That was priceless, PW. Guess I'll start that warbird too. It's a miracle no one's trying to arrest him while he's too busy laughing. You there. Oh, hello. You are one of those insurgents, are you not? Ah! Take that! Ah! How can he dash off into the air? And he's gone. Those firecrackers are more useful than I thought. Barbed head. Your benevolence, what can I do for you? I wanted to speak with you. about what my mother said. I do not believe a word of it. My father could not have been planning a coup. Well, I can understand why you'd feel like that, but it was a setup. Someone must have been plotting against him. And how do you know that? I just do, because the Holy Mother guides me. And as a royal priestess, I must uncover the truth for all to see. Maybe this is just how Rafa expresses her sense of duty. You're investigating this matter, are you not? Then rejoice, for I shall accompany you and bestow upon you the royal priestess's wisdom. That's the best news I've heard all day, Your Benevolence. No one would dare get in our way with Rafa by our side. We humbly accept your offer, don't we, Edgeworth? I thought we were just accepting it, but still. Okay, I thought we were not too thrilled a bit, but it seems we were indeed. As you wish, right? Excellent. Then let us begin with my father's private quarters. We should be able to find some clues there. I should expose this false charge for what it is, if it is the last thing I do. Could it be? Is the reason she's so defensive about Inga because she's a daddy's girl? Bob, Ted, let us not waste any time. My father's private quarters are located within the royal residence. Now follow me! Wait! She's sure in a hurry. Right. The minister's private quarters may hold evidence related to his murder as well. Yeah, maybe we can kill two birds with one stone. Rafa's awfully fired up. I just hope she'll be ready for the truth we find. After all, it's hard to believe that Inga was not in full control of the whole affair. Time for us to move then, unless we want to examine or ask anything more, as another episode of Phoenix Wright, Spirit of Justice, comes to an end, with Rafa really believing in her daddy. We go to his private quarters to find more, even though we know he pretty much probably did kidnap Maya. We'll see you next time for more. Bye-bye.